Hi, my name is Lori Rayfeld, and recently I've been watching some podcasts and listening to radio shows and whatnot. What I discovered was that the one demand that the UFO community seems to have is what you call they want the smoking gun. They want an artifact. They want something as proof to what was experienced or seen or whatnot. The funny thing is this, is that, as we know, most people haven't seen something that they can take with them and show to the world. And I believe there's a simple answer for this, because I think there were times where there were some artifacts, there were things found, and either they're hidden, or they're thrown away, or they're taken away, or they are used as a mechanism to misguide people in a way we're so easy to manipulate as human beings. And on the other hand, often I think that some of the films that we see are really also messages that some of these things are possible or probably happening, but it's easier to see it as science fiction or to see it as a possibility, but it hasn't happened yet. In 1980, apparently through the UFO sightings, there was something that was an artifact, and it didn't happen, I don't believe, when I saw my UFO, when I experienced my UFO in February 1980 at RAF Woodbridge, RAF Bentwaters. And that is, they came up with a plastic or a material that wasn't indigenous to Earth. And the only way I knew this is when I was a captain at the time in the Army Reserves. I approached a three-star general, Edmonston, and was talking to him about it. And an engineer who worked at a facility in Maryland told me that they had found something back then. And I felt at that brief moment that I was in the middle of the X-Files, and based on the body language of the general, I couldn't pursue it anymore, and I really didn't want to. Sometimes pursuing these questions gets really, really tiresome. Excuse me, I've got flies around here. But the one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that each and every one of us has gifts. And sometimes they're gifts that we can't quite understand or aren't able to be able to hone in on these gifts, as if you're practicing the trumpet or the piano. And I said the trumpet because my daughter is in the USC Trojan Marching Band at, again, USC in California. And she's been practicing the trumpet, and believe me, trumpets are loud. But she's been honing in on her skill, where most folks that have the ability to see, to experience premonitions, to see into the future, to see through their mind's eye, to be able to move or bend objects. I've heard of people doing this. Anything to do with any kind of like telepathy or the clairsentient, clairvoyant, all these abilities. I don't think they just popped up out of the blue. But here's the thing, is that we've been driven to believe that what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste is fact. don't do is realize that integrity and truth, in aligned with what our mind's eye sees, what we've experienced, that does not have that concreteness to it that an object would. Faith, out of the ordinary, miracles, so many events that occur to us, flashes in our mind, our soul telling us to help somebody before they even know that they may need help, and they do. There's just so many things going on. It's like, God, why did you put me into this place? And I use God more as a spiritual energy from the universe. There's no religious construct to religion. My God is everything, not some white guy up in a cloud somewhere with a long white beard and whatnot. Or maybe that's what God does appear to other people because that's what they believe in. So maybe my God's going to look different when I leave this realm to head off to the next realm. I was thinking, in fact, yesterday, that our souls are actually locked in our bodies, which is fine because we get to use our bodies and we get to enjoy life and we get to experience a lot of joy. On the other hand, with free will, we also have the choice of being tested for what we will do, what we can do, how we act with each other. And right now, I do believe that that's my dog, Oscar. I do believe that before we can actually get to the point of really understanding our gifts that we have, we still have to treat each other a hell of a lot better. Because personally, if I was an alien who projected himself as an 8-foot praying mantis, and why a praying mantis? Why couldn't he have been an 8-foot butterfly or an 8-foot Bambi deer or whatnot? And I'll tell you why. Well, no, I can't tell you why because I don't know. I can say that the biggest problem that we have is that what do we do with living beings that we find on Earth? We lock them up in zoos. We lock them up and use them to human advantage. We don't take into account that all living beings have souls. We don't take into consideration so many things. And of course, the irony of being human, like all animals and all beings, is that in order to live, we have to eat vegetables. We have to eat, in some cases, some people will eat other animals. Now, it's also the problem that we have is the way we treat animals. And the way we treat animals is a direct correlation to the problems we're having with our planet's climate change, pollution. And that's a whole nother story, so I can't go there. I don't want to go there yet. But kindness to not only ourselves, but to other living beings, to flowers, to, just really wanting to look at our nature the way our Indians of the